So he sees now what the cosmic being is busy with, and then he is approaching the earth, coming down. The cosmic being he has seen now. A change now fell upon the singer's mood. He is entering into the mortal world slowly, slowly. He is entering the mortal world slowly, slowly. Yeah. A change now fell upon the singer's mood. A rapture and a pathos moved his voice. He sang no more of light that never wanes, and oneness and pure everlasting bliss. He sang no more the deathless heart of love. He chanted the hymn of ignorance and fate. Because the change has taken place now. So that is the first song he is singing. His first song is a song of ignorance and fate. It is not a song of joy, of happiness, of everlasting bliss elsewhere in his heaven. That is what he was singing. But now the change has taken place and he has started singing. Because as he approaches earth, he is singing now the song of hymn of ignorance and fate. It is a hymn. It is in praise of ignorance and fate he is singing. Ignorance and fate have a role to play, have a function to do, you see. And therefore, it is a hymn also, stuti, as we call it, stuti, praise of ignorance and fate. What is it for? Praise, you see. Now, a change now fell upon the singer's mind because he is transiting now from the glorious world into the ignorant world. His song is changing, you see, basically. A rapture and a pathos, so both of them are now here simultaneously. Happiness and grief moved his voice. He sang no more of light that never wanes. In the heaven where he lives, light never wanes. There is no night at all there. And oneness and pure everlasting bliss. That's the identity in heaven there. He sang no more the deathless heart of love. That love which is immortal. He is not singing now anymore that thing because he is coming into the mortal world. The travel begins. Here, Narad is entering into a transient and sorrowful world. Transient and sorrowful world. Transient, that is, which is changing constantly, subject to time. Sorrowful, full of grief and all that. This is a phrase from Gita. Transient and sorrow. Anityam asokam. Anitya is transient. Sorrowful, asukha. Anitya means which is not nitya, which is not permanent. Asukha, which is not sukha, which is not happiness. So that phrase is basically from the Gita. Anityam asukam world. No more the delight of existence in which he lives in heaven. Narad was singing the song of bliss until now. It is the pathos that grows, that now gets into his song. Because he is entering the earth region. Pathos because here month follows gloom-stricken month and year wakes the grey sorrow of another cyclic year. This is what happens in our life here, you see. Here is only the unsteady light, light that waxes and wanes, becomes now bright and now dim. This is what happens in our case. The heart of love, if it is there, if you have a heart of love, if it is there, wanes and waxes and it continues to die. It is the play of cosmic ignorance and it is the uncertain working of Mother Nature as fate. By this one, they seem to decide the future of this mortal creation. Ignorance and fate. Never to these questions trouble Narad in paradise. When he is there in paradise, the question of fate and doesn't arise at all for him, you see. So that is the first song. The first chant is ignorance and fate. First song of Narad. The greatness of ignorance and fate. It is a hymn. It is making things grow. Evolution is in the domain of ignorance, but it is a progress. It is a progress. Now that thing has to happen in knowledge, which is a different story. But this itself is a progress. And therefore there is a praise for that also. You see. He sang the name of Vishnu and birth. Obviously, he is Lord. Now he speaks of name. He has taken a form, he has taken a shape, he has taken a kind of a character, person. He is not blank Vishnu there. And the birth, because it is in the birth now that is going to happen here. Not the immortal life over there, but the cycles of birth. And joy and passion of the mystic world, and how the stars were made, and life began, and the mute reason stirred with the throb of his soul. So that is the second song Narada is singing. And yet we feel that there is a feeble querying of the soul in spite of all that thing. There is a palpitation. And we see a brighter glimmer of birth itself, which could be the birth of the divine individuals. That is what has to happen. The divine individuals have to be born. Each individual has to be an individual, but the character should be a divine character. Not of the nameless Vishnu, nor of the still unnameable Vishnu. Unnameable is beyond named Vishnu. The non-manifest Vishnu, that is unnameable. The manifest Vishnu is the name Vishnu. He is not saying that Vishnu, but his name, that is his qualities in manifestation, noumena, in flesh and blood in this world. That is Vishnu. That is what he is going to sing. That is the theme of singing. It has the theme of the birth of the divine individuals. He's singing of birth. That, yes, from here the divine individuals will be born. The material sky, in spite of his thick and frightening night, is filled with countless stars, and there appears hope like the vague, tentative, early dawn of life. The name of Vishnu, though somewhat hesitantly, begins to enter the song of the dark beginnings of things, and there is a mystic joy. See, you are not fully accepting the name of Vishnu. There is a little hope, possibility. The rustle of the happy moment is felt while he is coming down, you see. You can see it is felt, you see. The tread of his silent feet in the expected corridors of time seems to bring the promised birth closer to us. When Narada is singing now this song of name of Vishnu and the birth, then the promised birth is appearing closer. The evolving advance is pursued beyond beasts and men. The march of destiny is gathering mass and momentum. It's becoming more and more definite, more and more perceptible. Then the next song, he sang the inconscient and his secret self. As he's coming down now, you see, he sang the inconscient and his secret self. His power omnipotent, knowing not what it does. See, secret self, what is what I said? Being, the inconscient being, and his power, it does not know what it is doing. Narada is singing that song. All shaping without will or thought or sense is blind, unerring, occult. You see, although that force is blind, although the being is silent, quiet, not doing anything, yet there is something unerring in his work. From nothing, matter has to arise and has arisen. From matter, life has to arise and it has arrived. So it is unerring. From life, mind has to arise and it has arrived. So that blind energy, that power, omnipotent, knowing not what it does, some impulse is there which is driving it on the right path and carrying on things forward. They have arrived here, blind, unerring, occult mystery. We don't know how it has happened, but it has definitely happened. And love that broods within the dim abyss. At the bottom of the whole thing is the divine love which is present. It is because the presence of the divine love at the bottom of the whole thing that things are right. In the dim abyss, that is there is what Satyavan is there. In the void, the divine has plunged and taken that seat, that position in the dim abyss. Who is there? Love. And Mother says, the name by which it is recognized is Satyavan. In the story, this love is Satyavan. Love that broods within the dim abyss is there. And then the next song, and weighs the answer of the human heart, and death that climbs to immortality. Death that climbs to immortality. That is the ascension of death. That is the prospect of death to immortality. Death has to become immortal. And that is what the divine being here in the cosmic is doing here. Death has to climb to the stage of immortality, you see, and waste the answer to the human heart. Narad sings of the bright possibilities that are on the verge to emerge out of the present night of darkness. These are the possibilities, they had to come out of the darkness. He sings about the inconscient self and the somnambulist force, what we have said earlier. But now, shaping our will and thought and sense, our will, the physical, our thought, the mental, our sense, the vital. It is that which is being shaped here. The physical, the mental, the vital. In it is the inbuilt infallibility. It must happen unerringly. All these things must go on, though it is the blind occult working. Its omnipotence and its omnipresence are active their own way. Of their own way, they are active. They are not motivated by somebody. They are self-born. Its omnipotence and omnipresence are active in their own way, but without awareness. Well, because they have taken the station. Satchit has taken that position. The operations are a blind shot. Obviously, they don't know, but still unerring. But there is a hidden wisdom behind them. Death, with the element of birth entering into the process, is seen climbing towards immortality. From darkness to light, from death to immortality. The Sanskrit prayer is Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Tamaso, from darkness, jyoti, light. Let me go from darkness to light. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityor ma amrutam gamaya. Mrityu means from death to amruta, immortality. That is the moment. So that is the celebration here. Light from light, to light, and from death to immortality. Tamaso ma jyotir gamaya. Mrityor ma amrutam gamaya. That is the celebration. This ascending movement has become possible because of the sacrifice love made long ago. The divine sacrificed himself and plunged into the void and stationed himself there. Therefore, this movement has become possible. Without that, it would not have happened. Because the sacrifice love made long ago at the 0 hour, marking the beginning of the evolutionary process. That is the 0 hour, you see. The cosmic being's task, the hymn of ignorance and fate, the throb of the soul would then mean the assurance of a marvelous creation coming out of the womb of darkness. And that is what Narada is singing. And then next song, he sang of the truth that cries from night's blind deep. The truth that cries from night. There is this truth there, is crying, please help me, please. Truth. Satyavan is lying there, he is in the grip of death, and he is saying, please save me. And he sang of the truth that cries from night's blind deep. And Mother Wisdom hid in nature's bay, her love for his creation. It is that love of the Mother Nature which is carrying us forward. And the idea that through her dumbness work, idea, yes, this is what should happen. This is my image of things to happen here. It is in the darkness, therefore it is only an idea. In the divine, it is always the real idea. In the divine, it is always the real idea. Here, it is only the idea. Real idea stands for supermind. So, what it does, it will achieve. Here is only the idea. And the idea that through a dumbness work and a miracle of a transfiguring hand, because she doesn't know, therefore it will be a miracle of transfiguring hand, of light that slumbers in the stone and sun, and mind subliminal in mindless life, and the consciousness that wakes in beasts and men. So it has come all the way up to that point already in the song of Narada. He sang of the truth. You see, this is a song of evolution of Narada. The cry of the truth is the cry of the involved being trying to emerge out of the unseen depths of the night. The wise dynamic force with the love and concern for this truth and the working of the idea, though alienated from the real, are both present in the very best of nature. Indeed, evolution out of the inconscience is the cry of this truth. What is truth? What is evolution after all? It's the cry of this truth, with the needed force and idea working behind it. The result of these high involvements, the involvement of the truth idea force, is the growth of consciousness which has presently come up to the human stage. It has made this progress possible up to now. All this progress has taken place in the seemingly endless domain of ignorance. Yes, all that has happened in the domain of ignorance. But being the cry of the truth itself, we shall proceed beyond the mental regions of ignorance and step into the vast of knowledge, Brahat Jnana, Brahat Vijnana, vast of knowledge. This is in the very nature of things inevitable. It has come up to here, it has come up to this point, not for nothing. It is not going to stop here. It has traced this path. That is not the goal, that's not the end of the thing. It has come to this point to proceed further. From here onward, with the path of progress in knowledge. And then he sings another song. He sang the glory and marvel still to be born. The evolution has come up to man, but what about things are yet to be born? Now, Narad had that vision, that intuition of things. Yeah, a new glory has to be born here, has to take birth. He sang with the glory and marvel still to be born of Godhead, throwing off at last its veil. Yes, the Supreme has put on the veil of ignorance, of inconscience. That has to go away now. And the glory, new glory has to be here, has to take birth. Our bodies made divine and life made bliss. So Narad has already, in his song, in his intuition, in the scheme of things, the knowledge of the divine body housing the divine bliss. The divine body is the only thing which can hold the divine bliss. And that has had, he sang with glory and marvel, still to be born. And still to be born, therefore, in the context of Savitri. Nara's visit is for that purpose, still to be born, in the context of Savitri. It is connected with her work. And therefore, the urgency, the relevance of his coming to Madra. It is in this context that Savitri has to do her work. And therefore, Narad feels compelled to come here. A body is made divine and life made bliss. Immortal sweetness clasping immortal mind. Heart sensing heart, thought looking straight at thought, and the delight when every barrier falls, and the transfiguration and the ecstasy. That is the whole purpose of the song. So all these 5 songs are ascending to this particular song, the song of transfiguration and ecstasy. That is the culmination of all his singing. So he is singing one above the other song. climbing up gradually to this particular song, and the transfiguration and the ecstasy. So Narad also has planned all his songs in a very systematic manner. First the song of this, first then the song, and ultimately this is this